What's up, guys? Welcome to Geometry 2020 Style. We're going to start off the year with some basic but very important vocabulary, some distinctions that are going to be kind of useful throughout the entire year. So let's jump on it. Starting with a point. It has no dimension. It's represented by a dot. So here's your example of a point. I can just make another one over here, and I can call it point B. So it's literally just a dot. Okay, a line has one dimension. It's represented by a line with two arrowheads, but it extends without end. So here is my example just off to the right here. We can call this line L. If you have a little lowercase cursive letter, that's one way you can name a line. Or we can call it line AB using the other 2 points there. So here's the important part. A line, you have to have these little arrows at the end because it extends without end. That's what those arrows tell you. It says that that line AB or line L is going to go on forever and ever and ever without end. If you don't have the arrows, it means your line is stopping wherever you stopped your line, your drawing. A plane is going to have 2 dimensions now. And it's represented by a shape that looks like a floor or a wall, but it's going to extend without end. So here's an example of a plane. It looks kind of like a rhombus, but remember the sides kind of extend without end. But for drawing purposes, it's going to look like a wall or a floor, some other 2-dimensional shape. Collinear points. That word collinear, co means, they exist together. Linear means on a line, so we're talking points that exist together on a line. So here is my line. Remember, it has to have the arrowheads. Let's just call this line A, B. So collinear points are points that are on that line. So A, B would be collinear points. I could add a third point, call it point C. A, B, C, they're all collinear because they're all on the same line. We could also add D or E or however many you want to add. As long as they're on that line, they're all collinear. Coplanar. So now we're talking about a plane, which we just talked about. It's kind of like when we draw, it's going to look kind of like a wall or a floor or a square or something. Coplanar points are points that are on the same plane. So I could have, again, A, B, C, D, however many points you want here. These are all coplanar because they're all in the same plane. All right, so here we go. Line segment, or just a segment. The line segment AB, or segment AB, consists of 2 endpoints, and that's the key. It has 2 endpoints. And all the points in between those 2 endpoints are made. They make up the line segment. So here's an example. We have a line segment AB with 2 endpoints that we're calling AB. So how does that differ from just a regular old line? Well, a line, I can have a line AB. The difference is the segment stops at A and B. It starts and stops at A and B. The line goes past A and B forever and ever and ever. So that's the difference. Now let's talk about naming these and how we're going to write these and how you're going to see them on homework in the book if we get there. So on the left here we have a line segment. So we can name it 2 ways. We can call it A, B, or B, A, which is a start, but how do I signify that it is a segment instead of a line or array, which we'll get to? Well, it's all about the little symbol that's above the 2 letters. So we have AB. Oh, bell. Here we go. So we have line segment AB. So I just draw a line segment. No arrows because that's what a line segment does. It starts and stops. No arrows. Or BA, they are saying the exact same thing. How does that differ from the line I have on the right? Well, we have line AB with an actual line drawn above it, 2 arrows, or line BA, either way works, with 2 arrows again, but the symbol on the top is going to be the key to identifying the difference. A ray is similar to a segment, but it only has one endpoint, and then the other side is going to have the arrow that signifies it goes on forever and ever and ever. Okay, so we have some examples down here. Now here the order of the letters matter. When you write out whatever this is ray AB here. When you write that out, you always start with your endpoint letter first. So this is going to be A, B. Now, how I tell that it's a ray is by the symbol I'm going to place on the top. So it's going to be just a ray, 1 arrow. On the right, I have another ray, but this one's going to be called ray BA with a little arrow above. Always start with your endpoint letter first. Okay. Opposite rays are 2 rays that share the same endpoint but go opposite directions on the same line. So let's call C our endpoint. And then if I go to the left, I have ray CA. Again, start with your endpoint. Use the correct symbol, which is going to be an arrow going in one direction. And then if I go the other way, I have ray CB. Again, start with your endpoint and an arrow on top with 1 arrow and 1 endpoint to tell me that it is a ray instead of a line or a line segment. So give another name here. We'll jump to the bottom. Give another name for GH. Well, what is GH? Is it a line segment, a ray? How can you tell? Look right above here. That right there is a line segment. It doesn't have arrows on it, so that is the only option. So what's another name for line segment? GH right here. Well, we talked above that you can just flip the letters and call it HG. Line segment HG. There you go. That would be another name. Part B, name all the rays with endpoint J. So that means we're starting at J. Let's make some rays here. So let's start by going to the left. We have ray JE. So JE, J is my endpoint, so it comes first. E with an arrow. Boom, there's 1. We have JG. Again, make sure we get those symbols correct. We have JF. And we also have JH. There you go. All right, the last thing here is just some angle vocabulary. So, an angle consists of 2 different rays with the same endpoint. So, if I call this ray, I don't know, let's go AB, and I call this one ray AC, what we formed here is an angle. The sides are the rays. So this right here is a side, AB is a side, AC is a side. And then finally, the vertex. That is the point that they share. So that would be right here. That is my vertex. Wow, what a color. All right, so the angle with sides AB and AC can be named angle. Now here's how you name angles. You start with not the vertex, either other point. So you could call B, A, C. That's one name. And that little triangle looking thing in front is our angle symbol. So angle B, A, C. Or you could go the other way, C, A, B. Angle C, A, B. Or you can just call it by the vertex, angle A. Goodness. So a lot happening here. So, and the last thing here is just classifying angles. We can call angles acute, right, obtuse, and straight as shown below. So an acute angle is an angle less than 90 degrees. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees, no more, no less. An obtuse angle is between 90 and 180. and then a straight angle is exactly 180. So notice these two right here, right angle and a straight angle, they are exact degree measurements. The rest are ranges. And that's it, lesson 1.